Hello and welcome to a video about respiration and in particular the body's response to exercise, and this is for AQA GCSE Unit 2 for biology and for additional science. Now let's start off with an example of someone who is running, and when they're running obviously that's doing exercise, and there are certain changes that happen in the body in order to help with doing this exercise, and we can look at some data based around that. So here we've got the changes in the heart rate in beats per minute and changes in the breathing rate in breaths per minute. Now you can see as the person starts to run, we start off with a nice healthy resting heart rate of around about 60, but when the person starts to run we get an increase in the heart rate and eventually goes up to 95 and settles at 95. The breathing rate starts off nice gentle 15 breaths per minute and then rises up to about 42 breaths per minute, and there are reasons why these changes happen. Firstly, you've got to remember that the heart pumps blood around the body, and a major reason for that blood being pumped is because it supplies glucose to all the cells. It also supplies the oxygen that we get from the lungs. So it supplies oxygen and it supplies glucose. So it then would probably make sense that if we are doing exercise we need more glucose, and you remember from the respiration video that glucose produces energy, so we'll need more glucose going to the muscles, and we'll need more oxygen going to the muscles, because respiration is glucose and oxygen gives carbon dioxide and water plus energy. That's aerobic respiration. So you can see that the increase in the heart rate and the increase in breathing rate both work together to increase the supply of these two important substances to the muscles. Now I want to look in a little bit more detail at what goes on inside the muscle. So if I look at our runner and just expand what's going on in the leg section there, what we have is the muscles there, there's the bone and the muscles there working very hard. They've got their increased supply of oxygen and increased supply of glucose as well. But if you look even more closely at what's going on, so let's look at a small section there. If you look even more closely you'll see this going on. Now to understand this we need a key. So there's our key. We have two very important chemicals here. We have a substance called glycogen and we have a substance called glucose. Glucose we know about. So there's two ways in which the muscle can get its glucose. One is by that increased heart rate and pumping it round the body into the muscle, but there's also a supply of glucose in the muscle, and that is stored as this substance called glycogen. Now you can see the glycogen is a lot of these glucose units joined together, so we've got glucose, glucose, glucose all joined up and compacted nicely together like that, and it's stored in the muscle in that form. But when the body starts exercising, what you get is the glycogen gets broken down into the individual glucose unit. So there it is, it's all being broken down, and then this glucose can go off and get involved in the process of respiration, which will then release energy. Okay, so that's a quick overview of what the processes are in terms of the reaction to exercise. We have an increase in heart rate, we have an increase in breathing rate, so that we breathe faster, but also we have an increase in depth of breathing as well. So not only do you breathe faster, but you breathe deeper as well, and the reason for that is so we can pump more blood to the muscles and therefore supply more glucose and more oxygen. I've been quite repetitive about that because it's quite important and students do often get that mixed up. Okay, so there's a quick overview. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.